The Young and the Restless recap for September 2, 2016, Chelsea hides as Kevin lets Dylan and Paul into the penthouse. Chloe soon demands to know if Adam was in the cabin when it exploded. Did anyone make it out alive? Paul and Dylan aren't looking as they think all three of them left on the plane. Chelsea reveals herself, and pleads with them to search for Adam. He wasn't on the plane. Paul tells her she's under arrest. She pleads with them to find Adam. Dylan asks Paul to be lenient with Chelsea, but Paul refuses. Once alone with Chloe, Kevin calls Michael to help Chelsea. At the ranch, Nikki tells Nick that if Victor's guilty then she is too. Nick maintains that Victor set it all in motion. Whatever happened to Adam is on him. Victor tells Nick if he thinks he'd kill his own son, he can get out now. Nick realizes Victor wasn't responsible and apologizes. They all worry about Chelsea, and Victor mentions taking care of his grandson. Nick explains Adam had specific instructions about Connor. Victor hugs Nick. "You're my only son now." After, Nikki comforts Victor, who intends to find out who set the explosion. He asks for time to himself. Nikki goes upstairs. Nick arrives at the penthouse looking for Chelsea and learns she was arrested. He tells Chloe and Kevin that Victor didn't do this, somebody else wanted Adam dead. Chloe argues. Kevin walks Nick out. Chloe flashes to the flames of the explosion. She tells Kevin he can go home, and then calls a sitter. By the club's pool bar, Lily leaves Neil a voicemail. She, Kane, Devon, and Hillary are worried because he hasn't returned. Neil texts to say he's visiting his mother. Lily ends up thanking Hillary for giving her the letters and they all laugh. Lily concedes that Hillary may have a teeny tiny heart. Hillary will take it. At the facility, Neil tells Lucinda he'd like to bring his family to meet her. His mother gently explains that's not going to happen. She feels weaker, and her breath is slower. It's like she was holding on, waiting for something. Neil wonders if it was him. It was. Lucinda asks him to tell her about his family. Neil gives her a rundown on each family member, including how Devon's wife was once married to him. She advises him to be good to them. If you lose your family, it's too hard to get them back. Neil agrees, he doesn't want to be alone. Lucinda begins to fade. Neil tells her she's not alone, he's there. Suddenly, she's gone. Realizing Lucinda has passed away, Neil sobs uncontrollably. "Mommy," later, Neil discovers a note she left for him in her Bible. At a table in the pool bar, Lily, Devon, Hillary, and Kane decide to call and make arrangements to join Neil at the assisted living facility. Meanwhile, Neil arrives at the bar and shows the bartender his mother's 25-year sobriety chip. He orders a club soda and begins reading the note she left him. She regrets not being a mother to him because of her addiction, but assures him he was never far from her heart. "Your mother loves you, son." Suddenly, Neil is surrounded by Lily, Devon, Kane, and Hillary, who know his mother died. He finishes reading Lucinda's note and cries. Lily and Devon embrace him. At the station, Michael rails at Paul and Dylan for dragging Chelsea down there in the middle of the night. He joins Chelsea, who is frantic about Adam. He assures her they are combing the area around the cabin and checking possible destinations of the plane. Chelsea hisses that the plane's a dead end. Chelsea fills Michael in on the intended plan. Michael says the police want her to name the person who enabled the escape. Chelsea names Victor. Nick arrives in time to hear from Paul and Dylan that blood and tissue found at the cabin matched Adam's DNA. "Your brother didn't make it?" Nick grits his teeth. He enters the other room and delivers the news to Chelsea that the police found Adam's remains. "He didn't make it?" Chelsea hysterically screams, "No, no." Nick holds her. At the ranch, Nikki comforts Victor after he says the police have stopped searching for Adam, they believe he's dead. He exits and gets into his car, where Chloe surprises him. He starts, "You vicious little," Chloe tells him to save it, she has something he'll want to hear. She informs him that Chelsea's at the station right now telling Paul Williams that he murdered her husband. Victor intones, "You know damn well I didn't do that." Chloe challenges, "How would I know that?" Victor points at her accusingly. "Because you did."